Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rainy and today I'm going to be training while I read your worst school experiences. Just really quick, if you ever want to be a part of these videos, then make sure you subscribe so you can see when I post to my community tab, or you can follow my Instagram at stephanierainbridge. Alright, it's time to get into that training grind. Okay, so I sent out a Google form, what was it, a couple days ago, and I asked you guys to submit your stories. I'm going to tell one of my stories before I forget to say it because I feel like it's kind of funny. Basically, I think I was in like the 7th grade, which is obviously the best time ever in your life. I'll just say that I definitely did not peak in middle school, which is great. You know, that's great. I'm glad I didn't, but yeah, I was a pretty weird kid. I'm still pretty weird, don't get me wrong. It's just that was like oh my god. So there was this boy in my grade at the time, and he was sort of like the goofy popular kid, the typical 7th grade boy who would like think he's cool and was like a troublemaker. He was that boy, and I was not in the cool crowd by any means. I was in the weird group. Why do I always get like this weird speed glitch? Like, do you see how fast I'm posting? Why am I doing that? Also, did they patch the sitting trot? Oh my god. What is this? I was not in the cool crowd by any means. I was the weird kid in the weird group. So with that being said, he might interact with me ever so often, but it was only like in passing. He never had the intentions of being my friend. He had me added on Snapchat, right? Which is obviously where all great things begin. He messaged me and he was like, okay, so I think that we should try to date. But what's gonna happen is tomorrow at school, we're gonna test drive what it would be like if we were in a relationship. If it doesn't work out and I don't want to do it, I'll message you. And I was like, okay. Which, me being me in 7th grade, any type of attention where I thought like, oh my gosh, does he like actually think I'm like pretty? Crazy, right? And so I was like, okay. So the next day we're at school, right? And it's so awkward. Like, he'll like try conversing with me before we go to our next like little class or whatever. And it was just so awkward. Like, what? And there was no like chemistry, which, I mean, you're in 7th grade. What kind of freaking chemistry are you gonna have? I just thought it was so weird. Like, even though I thought it was kind of crazy that a guy was willing to even give me a chance, which is so stupid now. Like, I have my own self-worth and everything, but I've also changed a lot from 7th grade me. It just seemed like one of those, like, what's that one movie where like they pretend to date to all the boys I've loved before? It's like that movie, like where they pretend to date. It was just so stupid. And so he messages me after school and he's like, okay, we can do this. I give the approval. And I was like,
I don't want to do this.
This is awkward. This is so weird. And I don't even remember what he said. I don't even know if he really responded or anything. That was just like the weirdest interaction ever, or just the weirdest situation. That was like the weirdest middle school experience for me. Honestly, I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I was trying to brainstorm like stories of me like in school, like what were my bad experiences. Oh my god, I'm yawning. I was like trying to brainstorm stories of me in school, and I feel like I've blocked them out. Like, I feel like I have removed them from my head. And you know, the worst part is that when I'm trying to think of bad experiences, I can't come up with them. But then when like on a random Tuesday night, I'm trying to fall asleep, there's gonna be a horrible memory that's gonna haunt me, and then I won't be able to sleep. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into your responses, which I have kind of peeked at them a little bit. Like, I saw some of them when I was at work. Oh, we got more. That is perfect timing. For my worst story, it was school picture day and my grade was scheduled in a time slot between 2 classes, and so we took all of our stuff to the hall where the pictures were getting done, and I left all my stuff at the table with the rest of my friends. Fast forward to when I come out of the hall and see this girl smashing my laptop to pieces against the concrete floor and throwing all my things around onto the floor. But she wasn't done there. She had a cup of like chocolate milk, and to top off the damage, poured it all over my stuff. Glad I'm not there anymore. I really hope that was a school provided laptop, but something tells me that it may not have been. That's awful. She definitely seems like a ray of sunshine. What was the reason for the chocolate milk? I mean, let's think about this here. That is a horrible waste of a perfectly good chocolate milk. I hated picture day. You had to like, everyone would see you get your picture taken and you had to smile, and our photographer would get his wife there and then she would like move you around and be like, tilt your chin chin to the left, like half a degree. Nope, no, that was too much. That was like a 1.5 degree. Chin down, eyes up here. I really hope that the girl who smashed your laptop got suspended. I would suspend that kid. This one says, me and my best friend went to the bathroom together because we both had to take either a massive pee or a massive poo. I was taking the biggest poo of my life and I had farted really quietly. Me thinking I was the only one in the bathroom besides my friend, I shout out, I farted. Newsflash, we weren't alone in the bathroom. There was a girl. She silently washed her hands and left instantly. I swear she didn't even wipe. Oh, you see, honestly, I commend your bravery to be able to poop in public places, let alone with even one of your friends in there. I aspire to have that level of comfortableness with my friends. Oh my gosh, I remember this next response. I read this at work and I like died inside. I felt so awful. All right, so it says, once I had a massive crush on my best friend, so I wrote a note and gave it to her, telling her to only open it after school. She said no and ran off with it. I chased her down and she went into the bathrooms with it. I started screaming at her not to, but then a teacher came in and told her to stop what she was doing and give it back. Teacher read the note out to the whole school in an assembly with names said. That last sentence, it killed me because I can't even begin to imagine what you were feeling. That's awful. I don't know what the contents of your note was, but I hope that you have recovered mentally from that. You guys sent me like 6-page essays, which don't get me wrong, I've had a great time reading these. Are you guys like trying to set me up to run into walls right now? Because I cannot read and run. Oh my god, I was not paying attention to where I was going. During my freshman year, I was in the girls' locker room with my best friend and she dared me to sit in the trash can. I got stuck and we were laughing so hard I peed myself. I had to go to PE after.
Speaking of peeing, I kind of need to pee right now.
Hey guys, it's Editing Rainy. I just want to say really quick, I realized as I was importing my footage that this part of the video, it recorded my audio and the audio of the game, but it was not showing the game screen. I ended up just videoing me racing so that I could put that over top of my audio. So if you hear some racing sounds that don't match up with the video, I'm sorry. Okay, I am back from my potty break. You know, your friend daring you to sit in a trash can is slightly questionable because what kind of germs are in that trash can? And also, peeing yourself at school, that must have been pretty embarrassing. This like reminds me of all the trauma that I had in freaking middle school PE where like we played dodgeball, and of course I was not athletic because I was so insecure. Like I didn't want anyone to see me try at a sport, so I would just sort of like chill at the back during dodgeball or something, and then everybody on my team would get out and then I would be the last one standing, and I was kind of hoping that I would just go unnoticed, but that didn't happen. I just burped, excuse me. I'd be the last one in and they'd be like, oh my gosh, just freaking throw the ball. So I would like try to throw the ball and then the other team would just like pelt me. I would get pelted, straight up pelted. But then as I got older, like high school, PE in high school is fine for me. Like that's when I started like not care. Like I would go hard in those games, man. I was ready to come for blood. I have to like go to a doctor's appointment in half an hour, so I might record more after that. I'm just gonna say this really quick. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to even fill out this form. I have a really good time reading them. And to all of you who like left really sweet messages saying that you like love my videos or that you're a fan of mine, that's so sweet. And I just want you to know that that really makes my day. And I'm so glad that you guys enjoy my content. So this response says, I was walking on the track with 2 of my friends and was feeling very left out and ignored when I see a huge kid running full speed in my direction, and before I know it, he completely runs into me and knocks me down to the ground. It was so embarrassing, and even more embarrassing that neither of my friends noticed, even though I was walking right beside them. And what were your friends doing? I'm so sorry that you got like absolutely bulldozed. I hope that you recovered. That sounds rather traumatizing. Okay, so here's the next response. No joke. I think one of my worst school experiences was just any time a teacher I liked got mad at me. Like, probably some of the biggest betrayals of my life came from weird fascination with strict teachers that everyone hated, that I, for some reason, adored. I'm not proud of it, but I used to allow myself to be bullied by teachers because I thought it meant we had a special bond. Looking back, I think I was just impressionable, and they needed a cheap laugh from the more popular, influential kids. This is pretty relatable, honestly, because those teachers who were like so closed off from students were the ones that I was like, I have got to infiltrate their inner circle. I want to be a student that they love and cherish. My mom used to be a teacher. Basically, you know, hearing the stories that she would tell about like teaching and how stressful it was, I always wanted those like teachers who kind of seemed borderline depressed. I wanted them to have like one student that made them remember why they loved teaching in the first place, which I know maybe I sound like I was like trying too hard. I probably was, but I just wanted to make them proud and I wanted to make them happy. So I was like, I don't want them to have the same experience my mom did teaching, which don't get me wrong, my mom definitely had some great experiences teaching, but it just wasn't for her in the end. Can't even believe this, but my mom was a principal at one point. I was a little girl at the time, but my mom was a school principal. It's so hard for me to imagine that. But yeah, I understand. If a teacher was mad at me, bro, I took that personally. It hurt my heart. It really did. Okay, so I'm back from my doctor's appointment, which for you it will feel like 2 seconds, but it's actually been like 3 hours. Okay, I'm gonna read the next response. So my time in school was horrible when it comes to anything that relates to maths. I have dyscalculia, which means that you basically don't understand how numbers work and how to calculate anything. So I struggled very hard. The worst situation that happened in my final year was that my maths teacher, who hated me, was asking me if I was stupid in an exam I couldn't finish. I hate that for you. That teacher sounded awful. I don't know what it's like to have dyscalculia, however you say that. And I'm sure it's very, very frustrating. I had a lot of trouble understanding math in school, and I was so afraid to ask questions because at my school, knowing math was kind of like you just had to know it, and if you didn't, you were looked down upon and belittled and like made fun of, which really sucked because that made me feel less comfortable asking questions in the classroom, which only made it worse for me, you know, because I never felt comfortable enough to ask questions. I was in middle school and I was in algebra class, and so we were doing like problems with X and Y and everything, and I think I like got the X and Y mixed up, and the teacher pulled me out of class. She pulled me out and she was like, I just wanted to ask, do you have dyslexia because you got your X and Y's mixed up? And I was like,
No, I don't have dyslexia. I'm just bad at math.
so that was pretty crazy. Okay, so here's the next response. First, I just want to say I love your videos. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. I'm glad you like them. My nickname is also Rain, similar to yours. Actually, here's a fun fact. Back in my early days, my nickname was Rain, but then I was like, hey, what if I had the nickname Rainy? So I switched to Rainy. My worst school experience is when this girl, let's call her H, so I like her. We have known each other for about 5 months, and I've liked her for the whole time. She's really funny and etc. So one day I get the stupidest idea. My stupid little heart decides to ask her to be my girlfriend, and well, let me put this bluntly, she said no. So now I'm heartbroken and that stuff. This other girl B decides to make fun of me. So now I'm still friends with H, but B is now my worst enemy. Bye. Love your vids. Thank you. I'm glad you love my videos. I'm sorry to hear that the whole relationship thing with H didn't work out. As far as B goes, in a couple years when you need to get your first job, just thought I'd let you know you can't put bullying on your resume. Yeah, just don't give her power over you. When I was in elementary school, keep in mind this was K through 8, I asked my teacher if I could use the restroom and he let me go. When I got there was like 3 people in one stall making out aggressively to the point they were on the floor. Moving on. I'm sorry if I didn't get to read your response while I recorded, but just know that I did read it on my own time. And I appreciate all of the kind words you guys said. You all are so sweet. I really appreciate you guys. So here's the last response that I'm gonna read. I went to school one day. It was raining
So flipping hard.
Then I walked in the door. Lo and behold, there was Idris eating everyone's toes. I'm not joking. I tried to run, but he grabbed my toes and started eating them. Now I am toeless. Love your vids. Colette Rain River. Thank you so much, Colette. I'm so sorry that Idris did that to you. You're a survivor, and that's something to be proud of. I know that humans aren't starfish, but I will have you in my thoughts, and I hope that they grow back. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to find me on Instagram, my handle is @stephanierainbridge. I'm also going to be leaving a link in the description to the CT Help Center. They're a Discord server that's basically catered towards club owners. They do like clinics and events. I don't own the server, but I am one of their sponsors. So make sure you check that one out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.